morning, friends. Leave it to my tarot readings, right? I've just been crying and I have bedhead, feeling lonely and all these feelings, right? And then we pull the Seven of Cards for my daily card. And this basically is talking about betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically, trickery. And I'm like, what? And so I sit and I meditate further and I realize that I'm not really, maybe I'm hiding my true feelings. Like, I wouldn't say I'm hiding them, but I'm definitely not sharing them as openly and or confidently. You know, I'm isolating myself more, and I don't really know what I want other than being alone, like isolating, right? And you know, this card can also tell me that I'm holding back being vulnerable, so that's great, which is what I'm doing. So when you start using these, they almost, you seriously cannot underestimate the synchronicities. So I know that in the universal air, we're all connected. Other people might be dealing with this kind of stuff. So from my pain of crying overnight into today, feeling all alone, even though I'm not alone at all. I'm feeling lonely, feeling lost a little bit, feeling like, do I put myself first? Do I go with what I'm supposed to go with? It's so funny. I used to always be so good at making these choices, and I just do them on a whim, and now I hold myself back. So I know why I do, working through that. But maybe you are also struggling with, oh my gosh, this dog. I shut my office door because he cannot be in here. I have to work today. So maybe you're struggling with sharing something, for being vulnerable. So the biggest thing for me this past few years has been to learning that if I don't share how I'm feeling and I don't do something to sit with those feelings and journal through them, that I'll freak out. So years ago, when we were living in a different place, every 3 months I would have a freak out. Every 3 months on the dot, I would like just burst, right? And it was because I was holding in so much and I wasn't allowing myself to just feel and sit through these emotions, right? So I really suggest, if you are feeling this energy release and this heaviness on your soul right now, for starters, you're not alone. For second, you really need a journal, or you really need a voice memo thing where you just like talk, right? I think you can lock some of these voice memos so no one else hears them, because again, it's hard to be vulnerable when you're starting this process out. And I know I'm struggling with sharing my vulnerability more, especially online, because of past experiences. You know, maybe I don't want someone out there seeing into my soul. But that guard needs to go down, because it doesn't matter if that person sees through my soul. Like, what are they gonna do? So just be more love for yourself during this time, and remember that it's important to figure out what you need and what you want, because if you can figure out what you need and you're honest with yourself about it, and then you're honest with others around you, it frees you up and allows the universe to give you what you need, and it allows someone else to kind of make their decision to stay or go, or to step up, or whatever it may be, so that they can achieve their best version of their self. So it's this domino ripple effect. When you start letting yourself be more vulnerable, and when you really take the time to figure out what you need, and you work through these tears. Hey, what triggered these tears? You know, did they just come? No, something happened. You saw something. Something was there, right? Something triggered these tears. Was it a movie? Was it a sentence? Was it a person, right? Go work through that. You know, what was it? Maybe ask yourself, what, you know, and keep going until you figure out, okay, wow, that is where that came from. So yesterday the day before, I had a journal session where I had a memory come back, and I started writing about the memory, which then flowed into like 4 pages of a completely different thing, right? So that was me kind of going, why did this memory come back? Okay, what is this about this memory that's making me cry? Because I don't feel that towards that person. It's something deeper. And I just kept journaling, and let everything flow. And it came back to some weird, like, not weird, but magical space of, my childhood, a childhood wound. And I sat there for a minute, and I made sure to use my light powers to say, let's spread this, cover this darkness with a lot of love, loving energy, and put it right back out into the universe, right? And so that's what you do, is you cover your darkness with the light, and you blend it with yourself, and you send it out to the universe, right? And eventually, you have another dark moment come up. Seriously, though, life is just an adventure. And so we have this moment right now. And if you're feeling that heaviness, know that you're not alone, and that you can work through it in those ways. You can journal it. You can go, what is this? What is this? What is this? First off, let yourself release those tears. If you start asking what in the middle of your cry session, you won't finish releasing the energy that needs to release. And so that's what I did first, which is why I'm all stuffy, is I just let myself cry and cry and cry, because there's so much energy right now going through my body. And as I could feel my body shifting into this other frequency. And so it's a lot of, I guess I'm like coming through, or I scratched myself. Anyway, so there's going to be a lot of this feeling in you, especially as you work through stuff, okay? You don't have to do it alone. You can have a life coach. You can have a light worker. Hire a light worker as like a life coach. Why not? I told my friends I should pay her to be my light worker life coach. So, you can work with me. We can be hand in hand working through this journey. Meet on Zoom once a week. Go to acupofhappy.com. Check it out if you want one-on-one. We'll work through this once a week, and I'll give you access to my Voxer. It'll be great. And then we'll work through this, because it's really great that people can work together and work through these things. And if you don't do that, that's fine too. So I would love to get a group of us together that just kind of are light workers in a virtual group here, maybe in Vox or a group setting, where we can just talk to each other, right? So if you're interested, let me know. And I think that's a great idea to get us all kind of chatting. And obviously remember that anytime we're in group settings like that, you have to allow divine timing, because we're all pretty busy. Right now I have to sit and I have to do some work to make some money. I have an event I'm going to later tonight, which I cannot wait. I'm so excited. It's the first time I'll ever see a medium and psychic in real, well, not a psychic, but a medium type person in real life. I think I probably have seen one before. I think one of my friends was good at that, but in an actual professional event setting, right? And yeah, so I'm just connecting with all the light work as best I can, and I hope if you're one that you'll connect with me and we can all work together and work through this. I love y'all, and I hope you have a beautiful day.